So joined by Brad Williams. Games just finished here. Folkestone Invicta 1, Carshalton Athletic 1. First off, talk about the conditions today, Brad. Pretty tricky with the wind, huh?
Horrible. Windy first half. Everything was clear and just like coming back every time. I think it was difficult as well because then when we actually did like relieve the pressure, we get a goal kick, we step up, kick, and then it's just holding, coming back towards us. Nightmare. Defo. Horrible.
And obviously you're playing centre back again today. You've played half a dozen games there now. How are you finding that switch in position?
I mean, at first, when Pete first asked me, I think it was the Kingstonian game, I was a bit like shaky because it was a big game and it was just before kick-off. But I mean, I feel like I've done well in that game. And then since then, it's obviously just been like learning. I mean, like Reedy alongside me helps massively because he is like a leader and he'll talk to me loads. I think we've like created a good partnership, especially in the back four. Obviously, left back was Ez, but I feel like the left back, him and Paris have been in and out. Both sort of do a job there and help. Especially me being on my weaker side, really, like clipping balls down the line and stuff. They're not always as easy to play. But when you've got Paris, who's naturally a lefty, helps massively.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And I mean, today, the Folkestone are in good form. They're sort of riding pretty high. Realistically, would you have been happy with a point today coming into the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I think they're fifth coming into this game. So you come here, like you said, terrible pitch, bobbly, windy. You take a point before the game. Obviously, we always want to win every game. But if someone said before the game, you'll get a point today. I mean, I'm pretty sure a majority of us would have took that.
And another big game coming up next weekend against Lewis, another side who are above Carshalton at the moment and need to take points off, obviously, to get into those playoff spots. And we need to pay them back for a 1-0 defeat. So, but they score a lot of goals. So you might need to be on duty a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. They're another good side. But I feel like a lot of the time we step up against the bigger sides. We seem to just work harder as a unit because I don't know if it's a mentality thing before the game. I mean, we definitely seem to be up for the bigger games. It's usually the ones that we should be beating we normally slip up against. I think it is just a mentality thing. So if we come with the right mentality like we have been recently, definitely can get something from that game.
Okay, well, let's hope so, and let's get in before we get blown away. All right,
yeah, cheers.
A still breezy BuildKent Stadium, been joined by Keith Bonus. I mean, at the end of the day, I would guess you're probably relieved to get away with a point. I had a couple of chances to nick it at the end there. Is that a fair evaluation?
Absolutely, 100%. Just said over there with the lads, yeah, we'll take the point. Part of the factors in this league are to come down to a top 5 side, top 3 side. If you're coming away from home, to take a point isn't a bad thing to do at any level. Of course, we wanted more in the situation we're in, but we knew that there would be a backlash from the first game, as I said to you last week. So we knew we were coming down here slightly out of whack, under strength a little bit. And so the objective was that we'd try not to concede initially and just hope to get something. And the first half obviously went the way it did. We changed it. We felt we could have a go in the second half. It kind of worked. But yeah, because we were in more attacking mode, it left a few more spaces behind us at the back. So yeah, we were really lucky. You can't take anything away from them. Their attacking prowess was evident. Balls that went across our goal, it was probably 5-6 that we just said if we were the gaffers of them, we'd be really disappointed that one of them hasn't been converted. But obviously we're really relieved. So to come down to this place and get a point, we're not happy, but we're okay with it.
And you mentioned about switching things around at half time because obviously the wind was a pretty major factor today. I'd say it probably gets worse down here, I'm sure, but pretty tough to play in for the players. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, and again, all the pitches are sticky. And again, it's that conversion from what we play and train on to this is always difficult. A lot of the players were sensible today, brought the studs, which they should. But we felt the first half we were defending well, but we caused our own problems to have to defend. So as proud as we were of the way we defended, we were giving the ball away. So we were defending because of that. So we just felt second half that we didn't want to do that. We needed that more attacking threat. With Benno and Bass up there, Benno's more the cultured player, playmaker, if you like. So it left Bass almost doing all the running on his own, and he was isolated. And getting high balls up to him is probably pointless when he's isolated like that. And so we just felt we needed another presence up top. So obviously we got Melos on, and we felt we did okay. He kind of grew into it, started listening to what we were saying. I think he's got to learn to play the way we want him to play. But he listened and he tried. So yeah, but we still didn't create enough chances, and the few that we did, we probably didn't capitalise on the way we wanted to. Because as much as they had many opportunities, we had a couple right near the end there. I think Omar should have hit first time. He's just admitted that. But he kind of saw Bobby out the corner of his eye, laid him in. Yeah, he should have pulled the trigger there. He knows that. Sometimes you take that risk. Yeah, but in the end.
But all in all, take a point at the end of the day.
Of course, like I said, at any level of the game, if you're playing a team that's, one of your main competitors away from home, you could ask any manager at any level, they'll take a point. It's not what they want, but what they don't want is to go away with nothing. And the biggest message before this game was we don't go away from here with nothing. Of course, we wanted all three, but the way the game went, everybody will see that. They'll see it on the highlights. They'll see it. We were under the cosh for different reasons. There were unnecessary errors. There were unforced errors. One or two people kind of taking their eye off the ball at the wrong times and eye off the player. But the one thing they did that we're really proud of is they scrapped and they fought. They didn't give up at any point, and that's what it needed in this moment. And sometimes games go like that.
Well, I don't think there's many teams that will take 4 points out of 6 against this lot this year. So well done, and onwards to next week. Another tough game next week with Lewis.
Yeah, hopefully it's our turn to pay back next week on our home ground, and that's got to be the focus. Obviously, I think we're unfortunate to lose down there. But yeah, at home, we've got to be really focused. We haven't got a game midweek, so hopefully we can rest some players, get some energy back, and go for it next week.
And how are Dan, Papo and Lewis both obviously missing today? Are they likely to be out for a while, or you're not sure yet?
Honestly, I'm still not sure. Perhaps I'm really not sure. I mean, a hamstring can take anything between 3 to 6 weeks. Yeah. With Lewis, it's my understanding he was going for a scan. I don't know if that's happened or if there's a result yet. But obviously, yeah, we're hoping he'll be back. I mean, we're lucky to get Bass back today. I thought Thursday, after training, he was never going to make it. But yeah, he's come back in and he's done well. As I said to you last week, again, Lewis is normally a quick healer. So if he's not healing, then it might be something worse than we thought, but hopefully not. But I don't know if he's had the scan. I think Pete would know if he had, so he probably hasn't yet. It's not easy to arrange.
Okay. All right. Well, players who played put out a good effort today, so well done, and see what happens next week.
Absolutely. Onwards and upwards.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking to us. Cheers. Been joined by Folkestone manager Neil Cugley, longest serving manager in the top tier, 7 tiers of football, I understand.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad. It makes me feel very old. But no, I mean, to be fair, enjoy my job, and games like that today, enjoying them, so that's why I do it. And
I'd imagine you felt like you had a bit of a point to prove after the previous game up at Carshalton, and your guys certainly didn't, certainly not for lack of trying today.
No, I think, being disrespectful, I thought we did enough to win the game, but I've got to say Carshalton, especially at the back, defended really well, and we couldn't quite get the winner we needed, and thought, your goal was a bit soft, and the centre keeper, I think, could have done better, but, that's football sometimes.
And we've been talking about the conditions today because obviously it's fairly breezy, but I'd imagine it's happens quite a lot down here, and so it's something you're used to.
Well, to be fair, this year it's been the mildest and less wind I've ever known at Folkestone, to be fair, but sometimes it can get a bit horrific here, coming down the pitch. But today it wasn't too bad. The pitch was a little bit bobbly and a bit of a wind, I don't think suits either side, but that's the joys of non-league, isn't it? You sort of roll your sleeves up and get on with it.
And Luke Wanadio scored today. He scored a hat-trick for you last week. He's been on loan. He's been brought in on loan. Looks a pretty dangerous threat going forward. Is he someone you hope to keep for the rest of the year?
Yeah, I'd hope so. And with Dave Smith and Addy, it's quite a good front three. And hopefully I'd like to keep him at the end of the year and keep those front three going, and that'd be good.
Yeah. and final push now for you to try and make promotion spots. You've got some games in hand on the teams above, so presumably are you hoping still to put some pressure on Worthing?
Yeah, still trying to do that. I keep saying it's a good league, isn't it? And very competitive. But we'll keep going right to the end. I've got a nice squad here, and I think we'll be right. And we'll just take every game as it comes.
Okay. Well, I can see you're freezing to death here, so I'll let you go in. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks so much.